Other than masturbation, what's something many people do but are scared/embarrassed to admit? Many people will not admit they got remarried so quickly because they aren't capable of being by themselves. Going through most of someone else's social media posts. Usually a friend or a crush. Come on. We've all done it. Having hemorrhoids. I don't know why conditions in that area are considered embarrassing and the butt of lots of jokes. It's perfectly normal and can happen to anyone. Go to the bathroom to rewipe their butt because they didn't do a very good job first time and now it's itching. I called out of work today because I've been having panic attacks since Friday. I'm personally scared of admitting to my coworkers why I called out. I also just told my mother I called out because of anxiety and she said, "What do you get anxiety from?" Not having a girlfriend. Thanks, Ma. Shed the lining of their uterine wall every month. We can only assume. As punishment for not being pregnant. This monthly process causes quite a bit of shame. Especially around trying to be hygienic about it and other people finding out when it's happening. It makes no sense. Not sure if many people do this. But I'm a guy and I listen to a lot of musicals. I don't do theater of any kind and no one would ever guess that I listen to it. I don't know why it embarrasses me. But it does. 1. Enjoying the perfect early morning POO. 2. Post-alcohol pee. We all enjoy it. When we are not preoccupied with drunkenly figuring out whether to get wings or a final round. Accidentally flirting with your distant immediate cousin's sister and then not knowing this before proceeding to ask said cousin for wingman. Imagining you're an extremely famous and super talented actor/singer/artist with loads of success and deserved recognition. For women. Having several pairs of blood-stained underwear because sometimes hygiene products can fail us. Or we are too late on the switch. Political affiliations. Many people are happy to talk at length with the comfortable anonymity of Reddit. But when talking to another human being you'd be pressed to find someone equally as vocal. Secretly hope the lightning strikes really close because you fantasize about something exciting happening for once. I have killed men, women and children in Iraq. I don't like to talk about it because people freak out when you tell them you killed. And then think you are a ducking monster when you tell them you killed kids. I am not some serial killer. We didn't target the ducking kids. It was war. And there is only such a limit you can place on collateral damage. We use heavy ordnance, explosives, mortars, tanks, rockets. We blew up ducking everything. Lots of people died. It happens. The people we fought had families. They fought for what they thought was right. And so did we. But when you tell people they act like you are running around with a knife targeting kids to slit their throats. So I just say I was a water technician instead and they leave it alone. Maybe this is just me. But touched things randomly in other people's houses, furniture, tables, guitars. That childlike instinct just hasn't left. It's weird but chewing the inside for your cheeks and lips. You can often pull a ton of skin off which you either chew and spit out or swallow. I can chew my lips for hours pulling off little chunks of dead skin moving on from one area to another. It regenerates so quickly I can do it every day. I'm too inept to catch them Duke boys. I never will catch them Duke boys. And I know I ain't never gonna get them Duke boys. I really should just send it up to state. But I've gone too far at this point to admit defeat. For me, nothing. I fantasize about sex like too often but I have death grip so my body is at conflict with my mind leading into an ego collapse of incomprehensible magnitude. Reading messed up and/or cringy fanfiction just out of pure curiosity or boredom. I once read one where Monica from DDLC turned into a carrot. One about Fire Emblem Fates where King Garen rapes his young son simply to remove his ability to feel. One about RWBY where some guy had poisoned semen that would kill him if he came. All like literally impossible to FAP to. But are just so bizarre you can't help but keep reading. When you sit in public transit and have to be super stealthy at rearranging your privates as a male. whenever I'm around pretty much anyone. Whether it be my best friend, someone I hate, a stranger, a boss, professor, or my dear old grandmother. It always crosses my mind for a split second. What would happen if I just duck and sock this person in the jaw as hard as I could? It's not that I want to hurt them. Just what would the consequences be? Am I the only one? Mental disorders such as anxiety and depression. People are taboo about it. Yet 1 in 6 adults in the US have an anxiety disorder. Find relationships and settling for people because they are so ducking shook about being single. A surprising number of people still sprint/leap into bed from the light switch. At least I like to think I'm not the only one. I feel like, at least for women, taking care of body hair. Most women get noticeable hair on the arms, bellies, their toes, back of the thighs that needs to be taken care of. There's always kinda sexy commercials showing women shaving their legs. Never see a commercial showing a lady shaving her big toe. Everyone picks their nose. Some of those people eat what they find. And even if you don't want to admit it, the ones that do eat their boogers get a boost to their immune system. But that isn't why they do it. We all think singing, especially a cappella, is awkward as duck for those who have to listen to it. If you're part of the singing group, it's fine, oddly enough. But if one friend wants to show off their vocals, then no matter how amazing their voice is, it'll be awkward as all duck. A lot of people won't ask questions if they don't understand a topic out of fear of being judged by their peers. They just say they've got it and move on without actually grasping the concept. Usually they're definitely not the only one who needs more explanation, but the anxiety of ridicule wins out. And that we're all still just a little afraid of the dark. Talking to themselves. I've realized that a lot of people who I've talked to about this have admitted to being shy about having conversations with themselves. I got to smelling your underwear and smelling your armpits to check how smelly they are *. Sometimes when I'm alone, I have full conversations with myself with hand gestures, facial expressions, and laughter when I say something funny. When I know I'm going to argue with someone, I'll have the entire argument with myself and sometimes even bring up points from the other side that I never thought of before. Many people do but are scared/embarrassed to admit. Well, it can't be ops mom. Because everybody admits to doing her. If I don't feel dirty, I don't shower. I rarely ever feel as dirty as I used to when I was younger. And I found my hair is a lot more comfortable on my head without a daily cleaning. Sometimes my hair is the only thing I wash. Showers have become a situation thing, rather than something you do every day. But to each their own. I know a lot of people would probably think this is nasty. Pick their nose. I also snot rocket. Because many times, that's the last resort so I can breathe through my nose. There's something cathartic about imagining one's own funeral. Who would be there? Who wouldn't? What would be said and felt? It may be morbid, but I'm sure many people have thought about it. I'll stick with masturbating though. Think racist/sexist/homophobic/etc. Thoughts. On a certain level, they come more naturally than anyone would ever want to admit. Doesn't make it right. But most people have the thoughts in anger more than they would ever admit. Thanks for the reality pinch up. I am not embarrassed to admit to masturbating, but now that I think about it, I've never met anyone else like that. I think natural things should be talked about openly, but of course you shouldn't shove it in everyone's face like I load my 6 feet cock yesternight and cum buckets. Social strangery. As a kid I could not initiate a flow of urine if there was anyone else in eyesight, so public peeing was a problem for me. You don't realize how much of a problem this can be for a kid. In public urinals and in natural settings like a picnic or something, boys and men often socially pee together in groups. I wasn't shy or anything. It just wouldn't go. I dealt with it eventually using relaxation exercises and self-hypnosis. But to this day I have to physically relax my abdominal muscles to let go at a public urinal.